Happy Friday! Welcome to the Coffee Run Live episode 473 on this very, very lovely, nearly end of August day. We've got beautiful sun here this morning following what was just because we need a weather report, Nicola. We had a very, it was really foggy this morning when I woke up. I was doing my 6 a.m. call in here and I've got this view out into our pool area, and it was just like heavy, thick fog. It was really, really weird. That's not what I needed to talk to you about today. Hi, Mia. You don't need a Mildura weather report. How random. What I did want to talk to you about was something that I just had a bit of a chat about with an interview that I was on. Luke and Susie, who are based in Queensland, do a radio show, and it's always a really fun experience getting to chat to them. But one of the topics I thought that I would talk with you about was about side hustles, because we had this conversation about it. So a side hustle is, as most of you will know, is something that you will do outside of your normal thing. So it could be that you knit, crochet, make soy candles. It could be that you consult on the side. Maybe you're a journalist who becomes a freelance editor, whatever it might be. What you've got available to you right now is the opportunity for you to be able to kind of, if you see an opportunity or a gap in the market, or just an opportunity in the market that you can go, oh, I could go and do that. This is kind of fun. Then go and explore it. You know, one of the things I came across, I always reference different things when I'm writing articles for other organizations or other publications, other blogs or magazines and things like that. One of the things that came across my awareness probably about a month ago was an article that was written that said, make an extra $7,000 from your side hustle. And I was like, I'd never actually thought about the fact that that would be something that people might like to read about, right? To me, it's like I've been for years and for so long, hey Dave, I've been so involved with the consulting world and helping people make a lot more than that I was like, oh, well, you know, maybe that's something that people might actually be kind of curious about or interested in. And so I was like, this made me think of a side hustle that I created. So I remember in maybe like 2000 and, oh golly, I reckon maybe 2005. My husband and I were out and about and we came across this jewelry store and everything was $10. I'm like, what a great freaking idea. And it was not marketed as jewelry that was only $10, but that was how much the ticket price was. And I remember saying to Dom, I'm like, that would work really well up here, you know, like where if everything is $10, it's like a $2 store, right? But everything was $10. It was really cool, fun, costume jewelry. I was like, what an awesome opportunity. What a really great idea. And I thought, you know, if I can make 10, 12 grand a year, if I can make $1,000 a month from this kind of business, then that would be really freaking awesome. And that would pay for a holiday. My initial thinking was that would pay for us to go as a family to the snow, right? So that was my original intention. So I was importing jewelry. I researched overseas. I found some jewelry companies that I could import the jewelry from. I set up market stalls. I then, you know, as we do, so this is all whilst working for corporate. I was building, I learned how to build websites. So I taught myself how to build a website where I could sell my jewelry, because I also started wholesaling it. So I wanted people in New South Wales or Queensland or Tassie or whatever, I really wanted them to be able to see some of the different pieces that we were importing, and then they would buy them in bulk, and then they would then go and retail them from there. So you guys know how wholesaling works. That was a bit random. But anyway, you get the point, right? So it was this kind of thing that we stumbled across this, and I've gone, I reckon this would be kind of cool. So I started building that up. And I learned how to use Facebook for marketing. I would create events for the market days, and I would communicate on the page and do all of this kind of thing. And it was a really cool little side hustle. And then I started going, well, I reckon that there's actually a whole lot more opportunity here that I could kind of grow. At around that same time where I started seeing more and more opportunities, I then trained as a style and branding coach, and the rest is history, so they say. But what was really interesting about that was that I'd initially, and we exceeded expectations. I remember over Easter, we would do about $3,000 in sales in a weekend. It was always it was just it was so fun. And what it did for me is I paid for holidays and it did its thing. But what was really fun about it was that it kind of tied in with my love of talking to people. I was out and about, and not that we can do that here in Victoria at the moment, but I was out and about. I was able to talk to people. I was doing things that I loved. It was very limited time, and I enjoyed doing it. I saw more potential. And then I decided to sell it. So I actually sold that business. I sold all the jewelry and, exited out when this business really started picking up. So side hustles don't always need to be about, it's always fun if you can work it in with things that you enjoy, things that you're passionate about, things that you're maybe a little bit excited about, or an opportunity that you see in the marketplace that you can contribute to easily, right? And obviously having some good profit margins and things like that would be really important. So some things that you could consider. You could do online reselling, for instance. So you might be, there's a really cool business that takes on consignments of designer brands. So you might, and I've seen other people do this as well, where if you want to sell, maybe you've got some good quality clothes that you want sold, but you don't want to do it yourself. Or for me, I don't have the photography skills to display my clothes beautifully for sale, right? I'm not a photographer. I'm not a merchandiser. That's not my jam. I can sell anything online, but getting that side done, I'm not that way inclined. So I would be, if I was I'm staring at my handbag on the back of the door. If I wanted to sell my handbag, I wouldn't sell it myself. I would go to another reseller essentially and say, hey, can you do this, and get her to sell it on consignment, for example. So that's a really great option. You might like to do that as well. You can then you can go and build a website on the internet, or you can do it through your Facebook page. You can do it through Instagram. You can sell stuff through there too. So that might be a really cool option for you. You might set yourself up as the person who does all the selling, or maybe you've got stuff at home that you're like, what, I just need that stuff gone, and then get it out that way. The other thing that you might find is that you might be really clever at different things. So you might be a really awesome graphic designer, but you might have a full-time job, for instance. Go and do some graphic design work on the side. There's people like me. I'm graphically design challenged, right? I do not find it easy. I get really frustrated, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to do it like this because it's just going to be easy. If you're really clever at that, then you could set that up as your side hustle. If you've got a skill set as well that's really needed, you could become an online bookkeeper. You could become if you really love writing and you're really, really good at it, then you might say to someone, or you might put it out there that, hey, I can help you write, or I can coach you in your writing, or I can edit your work, right? I was talking to a journalist from Channel 9 going back a couple of months ago, actually. She said, you know what? My friends always ask me to proofread their stuff, their blogs and whatever, before they put them out there. And I'm like, dude, you should be charging for that, right? So if you've got that skill set, then just because you've got your main job or your main business or your main work doesn't mean you can't also develop something else, over here as another side hustle, so to speak. So that's a really, a very obvious kind of option. The other thing that I thought is really interesting is that some of you have got a whole lot of knowledge in an area that is perhaps not the same as your work area. So for example, if you've got the ability to be able to collate your thinking, your knowledge in a certain area, you could turn it into an online course. You could turn it into an online club. You could turn it into like anything that the world is your oyster, is where I'm going with this. If you've got knowledge about something and it's something that people want to know, then you can turn that into whatever thing you like, an online course, an online club, an online membership, a paid Facebook group where people come in and they learn from you or they hang out with you and do cool shit, right? In their worlds. It could be about crocheting. It could be having coffee. It could be anything, right? How to be a vegan, how to make music, how to write books. There is no limit. And I think that is one of the most exciting things about being alive at the moment, is that there are so many opportunities for you to be able to really create financial freedom, for you to be able to create money, for you to be able to, the disclaimer with all of this is that you're actually able to help people and deliver on what you're selling, be it, mugs or an online course or whatever it happens to be. But just because you've got something going doesn't mean you can't also then create a bit of a side hustle as well. So that is us for today. So I can't wait. Let me know what you're thinking. If there's anything that you've got coming up that you're like, yeah, I did this and then I built this and then this is what happened. I'd love to hear the stories. So make sure you share them. I would very much love to hear them. So you know what you need to do. You've got to get out there, go help some people, have a whole ton of fun doing it, and remember that the world is ready for your brand of awesome.